Hello, let us discuss misrepresentation. Already we have discussed if there is no consent, there is no contract. So the consent which is given by a party must be absent of coercion, undue influence, fraud and misrepresentation. A representation means it is a statement or assertion which is made by one party to the other before or at the time of contract of some matter relating to it. If representation or assertion is untrue or false and the person making it believes it to be true, it is known as innocent misrepresentation. An innocent misrepresentation is termed as misrepresentation, whereas if it is willful or which is intentional misrepresentation is termed as fraud. The term innocent misrepresentation is used for the misrepresentation in which no element of fraud or negligence is found, or one for which the representee had good ground of belief. Let us discuss the ingredients of misrepresentation. According to section 18, classifies cases of misrepresentation into three groups as follows. First one is unwarranted assertion. Unwarranted assertion means which is not justified, the statement which is not authorized or justified. When a person positively asserts a fact is true when his information does not warrant it to be so, though he believes it to be true. Means when he makes a representation or statement, he believes that it is to be true. Positive assertion means an absolute, full and clear statement of fact. For example, A, while selling his mare to B, tells him that his mare is thoroughly sound. A genuinely believes the mare to be sound, although he has no sufficient ground for the belief. Later on, B finds the mare to be unsound. The representation made by A is misrepresentation. The representation here which is made by A is misrepresentation, where a person on the strength of a mere hearsay information positively asserted that certain third party was going to be director of the company to be incorporated, and on the information of a person shares were taken on the faith of such statement, the court held that the assertion was not warranted, which was not authorized or which was not justified. Second ingredient of misrepresentation is breach of duty. When there is any breach of duty by a person which brings an advantage to the person committing it by misleading another to his prejudice. So any breach of duty which without any intent to deceive, which brings gains or advantage or an advantage to the other, to the person committing it or anyone claiming under him by misleading another to his prejudice or to do the prejudice of another claiming under him. So this clause covers those cases where a statement when made was true but subsequently before it was acted upon it became false to the knowledge of the person making it. So it is the duty to disclose the fact. In such a case, the person making the statement comes under an obligation to disclose the change in the circumstances to the other party. Otherwise, he will be guilty of misrepresentation. The defendant agreed, in this case, the defendant agreed to buy hops. Hops means certain type of plant, flower plant. Hops from the plaintiff on the understanding that no sulfur has been used in their growth. The plaintiff made representation that no sulfur had been used in the cultivation of hops, and the defendant made it clear that he would not buy if sulfur has been used. But in fact, sulfur had been used on 5 out of 300 acres, and this was forgotten by plaintiff when he made the representation that no sulfur had been used. The court held that the assurance was intended to be a term in contract, in a sense a condition without which the contract would not have proceeded with. Hence, the contract could be avoided on the ground of innocent misrepresentation, although the representation was not fraudulent. The third ingredient is innocent mistake. When a party causes, however innocently, the other party to the agreement to make a mistake as to the substance of the thing, which is the subject matter of the agreement. So, causing mistake about subject matter innocently. If one of the parties induces the other, although innocently, to commit a mistake as to the quality or nature of the thing bargained, there is a misrepresentation. For example, in a contract of sale of 500 bags of wheat, the seller made representation that no sulfur has been used in the cultivation of wheat. Sulfur, however, had been used in 5 out of 200 acres of land. The buyer would not have purchased the wheat, but for the representation he had purchased. So there is a misrepresentation, or this is a case of misrepresentation. So let us discuss misrepresentation in detail. When a false statement is made with the knowledge that it is false and also with the intention to deceive the other party and make him enter into contract on that basis, it is known as fraud. But when the person making a false statement believes the statement to be true and does not intend to mislead the other party to a contract, it is known as misrepresentation. So in case of misrepresentation, here there is no intention to deceive the other party or other person. So misrepresentation is a false statement which the person making it honestly believes to be true or which he does not know to be false. It also includes non-disclosure of a material fact or facts without any intent to deceive the other party. So let us discuss essential ingredients of misrepresentation in next lecture.